Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to yet another informative episode of NamRA Kachenu, where the focus will be on tax, customs and excise matters. My name is Elise Dentlinger and I will be your host for the next 30 minutes or so. In recent developments, NamRA took part in the Tax Justice Network for Africa gathering in Kenya. NamRA showcases its services at the Mining Expo. The service charter is popularized among staff. Stay tuned for all this and more. Earlier this month, the Namibia Revenue Agency, NamRA, participated in a technical meeting convened by TJNA in partnership with Ataftex, the African Union and UNECA. This meeting aimed to validate a tool that will monitor the effectiveness of measures aimed at curbing illicit financial flows.
Now, if we were to top up the low taxed income across the continent, we have a chance of clawing back some of that money. Additionally, we are seeing the tax types are still in good performance. VAT still remains the easiest tax to collect for our revenue administrations and accounts for about 40% of the total tax collected. And so there's an opportunity for us to keep that efficiency on tax collection, on revenue mobilization, while closing the loopholes and gaps that we've already identified through the policy tracker. The policy tracker therefore aims to firstly empower governments in ensuring that they are instituting the correct policy measures, but also interacting the policy measure with the appropriate administrative process. Additionally, it is a good way, like other trackers that have been used previously, the African Peer Review Mechanism, the Tax Administration Diagnostic Assessment Tool, to look at what your peers are doing and how you can implement peer exchange and replicate some of those advances.
The Mining Expo remained true to its name, attracting large mining companies from across the country. As usual, NamRA seized the opportunity to assist clients with queries. Here are the highlights. NamRA is expected to improve service delivery. With that in mind, NamRA engaged staff members from various units in the client service charter. The sessions commenced on the 4th of September 2023. The exhibition season continues and NamRA took its services to the Rebekka show.
My request would be, since there's so many people in Rebekka that need assistance with NamRA, and if this will be continuously, why can't we have an office in Rebekka, a NamRA office in Rebekka? That would be really helpful for our community, and we will really appreciate it. Thank you.
Usually the offices seem to be very far from us, so bringing it close to us serves as much convenience. I have some outstanding tax inquiries that I would like to find out about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to commute to Windhoek. It costs us, say, almost $40 per trip. So if you don't have something that they need, then you need to return again. So it's extra cost. But seeing that you are here and seeing that it's also the policy of the government to decentralize,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Meaning the head office can come here, they can really establish an office here, seeing that we are also taxpayers. So it's much convenient and the service that we are getting is on par.
When we return, we will be joined by Ms. Rebekka Uusiku, the manager of the Western Regional Office in Walvis Bay Domestic Taxes. Stay tuned.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue. NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Welcome back. We are joined by Ms. Rebekka Uusiku, manager of the Western Region Domestic Taxes at NamRA. Ms. Uusiku, could you share your experience since joining NamRA and what you found in place at your office?
I joined NamRA in October 2021 and I started off at the far northeastern region, Katima Mulilo. When I joined the office, I found a well-motivated team, despite the fact that the recruitment process was still going on. There were some up and downs, mood swings, because the team was a bit in some confusion, not knowing whether they will be part of NamRA or not. But the whole team itself was very much working together and they were encouraging each other and they were motivating each other throughout the whole process. The team was working very well and they welcomed me very well when I started off, and they were willing to help me, to show me what is in the process, and where I needed help, I also relied heavily on them. After Katima Mulilo, in this year in April, I moved to the Walvis Bay Regional Office, where I also found a well-groomed team that is also well-energized and well-motivated, a very hard-working team as the one that I left in Katima Mulilo. And both teams are really very hardworking and really willing to take NamRA to the next level.
What are some of the challenges you encounter when dealing with clients in your region?
One of the challenges that we are currently facing with NamRA's client is the fact that some of the clients seems not to understand or seems not to be familiar with the Act, and they seems not to have a clear view of what the mandate is for NamRA. Some of the clients believe that the money that is being collected by NamRA is for NamRA's benefit. But we always try to explain to them that the money that we're collecting is for the benefit of all the Namibians, and the money that we're collecting is going straight to the state. And it's the money that is being used to pay the salaries, to pay the pension money, to create infrastructures for the country, to cater for all the needs of the Namibian people. So this always comes up when we approach taxpayers to pay their dues. When you approach a taxpayer to inform them they owe NamRA money, they always tend to say, we just want money, we forever just asking them money. But once we explain to them what their obligation is towards the state, they tend to get a clear picture and they leave our offices happy and smiling. Another challenge that we currently also facing is the fact that we have a huge deadlock of refunds that needs to be paid out and audits that needs to be conducted. And taxpayers don't seem to understand that for a refund to be paid out, an audit needs to be conducted first before the refund is paid out. They only consider that I've submitted my return, so why am I not getting the money? Those few that don't understand, we also try to explain to them the whole process, how it works, and we always try to let them get the clear picture of what we are doing in the office and let them understand that by the end of the day they will still get their money as long as all the procedures has been followed.
Can you tell us about some of the initiatives that you are currently undertaking to educate taxpayers in your region?
Some of the initiations that we are currently implementing is that we are approaching the regional councils, the municipalities, and some of the big ministries to go to their premises so that we can educate their employees and the community surrounding them. What we do, we approach the HR department and inform them that they should provide us with a date that they will be available for us to come in to educate their taxpayers and also to help them to do their e-filings on the returns that are still outstanding. And the initial thing that we do before we started off with it, we try to also engage the HR department to show them how to do the whole e-filing system so that even come next year, they will be able to help their team members in their offices. And for some of the community places, we're trying to get the bookkeepers and the people who are community activists to at least educate them also on how to do the e-filing and to educate them on some of the tax issues that they need help in. And in that way, we're trying to engage such a group, the group that will leave behind once we go back to our offices to continue the education. And we always try to get their contact number and we give them our contact number so that if they have any challenges in the process, they can always contact us. This we are doing to make sure that come next year, the filing date or if there's any problem, we have somebody who we can rely to in the community that can also help the taxpayer so that they won't just be relying on us. And another initiation that we are currently doing is also to take part in the expos the trade fairs that are happening in our region, we always try to see what is on the calendar of the municipality so that we can also take part in those activities that they are doing to educate taxpayers.
Is there any backlog of assessments and audits in your region? And if yes, what is the strategic plan in place to tackle the backlog?
Yes, my office has a huge backlog on the audit cases as well as on the assessments. But as an office, we came up with a strategy to see how we can reduce that deadlock. We came up with a strategy to start auditing based on risk-based audit. We will try to assess a case and see if it's really needed for us to conduct an audit or not. And if we find out that previous audit has been done and there was no huge risk, or we find out that it's a low case risk, we try to skip some of those audits to just get the whole backlog down. We are also trying to at least try to get out all the old periods that have not been audited yet, so that we only remain with the recent audit cases for the recent years. The team has started already implementing the strategy and it's working well, and we believe the results we are aiming for will come out at the end of the year. On the assessment side, we also have a strategy in place, so which we have also started implementing already. We are allocating cases to all the staff members, and we are trying to have a daily target that each member needs to meet to clear the assessments in their list. And the fact that we also got new staff members recently, that's just started this month, made it a bit easier for us to be able to tackle most of the clients. Because previously we were struggling with staff members. We didn't have a lot of staff members, especially in the assessment and the audit department. But the audit department is still struggling with staff. We don't have enough staff members, but with the staff members that we currently have, we will try to manage the situation. As we go, we will still continue to see if we can get other strategies in place. If the current strategy is not working, we'll continue improving as we go and make our strategy really useful for the whole process.
Ms. Uusiku, lastly, what is your message to the viewers?
My message to the viewers is just that let's work together as Namibians so that we can build the Namibia that we all want. And this we can only do if we can collect enough money via the taxes that NamRA is currently administering. And to the clients that owe NamRA, I would just like to inform them that owing NamRA is not the end of the tunnel. If you come to our offices and inform us about your problems, you might get a solution out of our engagements. Like currently we are running a tax amnesty program where if all the requirements are met, especially you paying off your capital part of the debt and submitting all your returns and becoming an e-filer, 100% of your penalties and interest will be waived. This amnesty program is running until October 2024. So I urge all the clients to please come forward and take this chance, this once-off time chance to clear their balances. Because some taxpayers out there, they just see a balance and they get shocked. But if they come to our office, they might find out that maybe only 10% of that balance needs to be paid off and the rest can be cleared via the amnesty program that is currently running. Thank you.
And that was Ms. Rebekka Uusiku, Manager Western Region Domestic Taxes at NamRA.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Beata Nfungo is a Senior Audit Officer at the Large Taxpayer Unit, one of NamRA's dedicated staff with over 15 years of experience in domestic taxes. Here is Beata Nfungo.
My name is Beata Nfungo. I have over 15 working experience in domestic tax. I started in Inland Revenue as a taxation officer, and I was promoted to senior taxation officer and later to chief taxation officer. I served in different divisions such as desk audit and field audit. By grace of God, during October 2022, I joined NamRA, where I serve with passion as a senior auditor at the Large Taxpayer Unit. My roles are to conduct comprehensive audit and in the process I educate taxpayers on 4 tax obligations. These 4 tax obligations are full registration, on-time filing, full payment, and accurate reporting. What motivates me? I'm passionate about my work. I like to share tax knowledge with the taxpayer and my colleagues. And my goal, I want to grow and retire in NamRA. I also want to improve my experience to become tax expert in the mining sector. To my colleagues and taxpayers, let's work together as a team to impact the livelihood of every Namibian. I thank you.
Now let's focus on manual refunds for income tax and value-added tax requirements for local banks.
Hi, my name is Evalisa Kangajela, Senior Tax Officer, Refund Verification Office, Vinto. And today we are going to talk about income tax and value-added tax, manual refunds processes to local banks. What is manual refunds? Manual refunds are automatically processed by the ITA system upon the finalization of assessment. However, if the refund is not processed, a manual intervention will be required. And let's talk about the factors that triggers the rejection of the manual refunds. These are refunds rejected by the system due to outstanding returns, refunds rejected due to no bank accounts on the ITA system, refunds rejected due to unpaid liabilities, and refunds paid in closed or inactive bank accounts. As described above, you do not need to come to our office to request your refund. We will contact you to update your tax record, then your credit due to you will be paid out. The only part you need to request your refund in writing and put in a claim is when we have made an overpayment, a physical overpayment, in a sense that you paid 3,000 but you only needed to pay 2,000 and then you need your 1,000 to be refunded to you. So you should then request in writing Complete a claim form and supporting documents. Submit your request to the Refund Verification Office at the Office of Registration. Example, if your Office of Registration is Walvish Bay, that's where you should submit your request. The process takes about 2 weeks to be finalized. It can be a lengthy process as a lot of verifications needs to be done. In conclusion, we humbly request our taxpayers to ensure their records are up to date. For example, the contact number registered with us on the ITAS system should be valid for us to be able to contact the client should there be a need. Thank you.
In the next insert, we will look at manual refunds for income tax and value-added tax requirements for foreign banks.
Hi, my name is Gwen Karwes, Tax Verification Officer, Refunds Department, Central Regional Office, Windhoek. And today, we are going to talk about refunds paid into foreign accounts. So, what is a manual refund paid to a foreign bank? These are income tax and value-added tax refunds due to the Namibian or non-Namibian taxpayers who relocated to foreign countries either for temporary or permanent reasons and their Namibian bank accounts are closed. When is a refund paid into a foreign bank account? This is when the taxpayer notifies our officers that they have relocated to another country and have a refund due to them with NamRA. So, what documents are required for one to request a refund to be paid into a foreign bank account? Firstly, the taxpayer must present the refund request in writing to the Office of Registration. Bank confirmation letter from the foreign bank, proof of current residential address, a recent certified copy of the ID or passport, complete a Bank of Namibia form which can be obtained from the NamRA offices. In conclusion, once the required documentations are presented to the refund office, we will then start the verification process, and this can take about 4 weeks to be finalized. Therefore, we humbly request our taxpayers to ensure that their taxpayer records are up to date before they request for a refund. And that is it from my side. I thank you.
Here is the trivia of duties.
Did you know individuals earning an annual salary exceeding $50,000 per annum are required to register as taxpayers either through our online portal or by visiting a NamRA office near you. Once registered, it is important to submit the proof of registration to your employer. Tax is deducted from your salary according to progressive tax rates, ranging from a minimum of 18% to a maximum of 37%.
Saving with passion.
Up next, we are looking at a registration and licensing for the customs and excise storage and warehouse operators.
Hi, my name is Johannes Shikwaya, Senior Customs and Excise Officer, Division Trade Facilitation and Customs Procedure, Registration and Licensing. Today, I'm going to talk about clearing agent, requirements for registration and licensing, and application processes. Who is a clearing agent? Any person who wishes to conduct clearing agent business in Namibia to import and export goods for himself or on behalf of someone else should be licensed in terms of Section 73 of the Customs and Excise Act, Act number 20 of 1998. Requirements. The following documents should be submitted. Proof of reference or testimonial letters stating that both applicant and employee have previously worked for Customs Authority or clearing agent in Namibia for a period of 2 or more years. Certified copy of identity or passport documents for applicants and employees. Proof of registration with Business Intellectual Property Authority. Proof of registration with the Financial Intelligence Center. Certified copy of a valid building or business fitness certificate issued by municipality or local authority in the area in which a person intends to conduct clearance business. Proof of lease agreement, original and valid certificate of good standing issued by the Namibia Revenue Agency, original and valid certificate of good standing issued by Social Security Commission, completed application form for registration and licensing as a clearing agent. Now we are going to look at application processes. Firstly, applicant must submit the application form in duplicate either in person, by courier, or mail. NamRA Department of Customs and Excise Division, Trade Facilitation and Customs Procedure will accept and verify the application form. If it's incomplete, then it will be returned to center. However, if all supporting documents are in order, then the Department of Customs and Excise will make recommendation for site inspection. Upon receipt of inspection report, the Department of Customs and Excise shall make recommendation for approval or rejection. If approved, the applicant is granted 90 days to submit security bond of 20,000 from any banking institutions or insurance entities in Namibia. The original security should be submitted to the Department of Customs and Excise together with a payment of license fee of $100 Namibian. Lastly, upon submission of the above, the applicant shall be issued with declarant code and complete the user authorization form, which grant access to the customs access as Skoda World. I thank you.
Do you want to make a payment for tax debt? Here are the available options for payment.
My name is Angela Kamui, Senior Revenue Treasury Officer at NamRA. I'm going to take you through the process of making payments to our NamRA offices. We have 4 modes of payments which are acceptable at our offices, which are direct deposits, cash payments, electronic fund transfers, and speed points machines. When making electronic fund transfers, we have 2 accounts available for our taxpayers, which is Receiver of Revenue, account 165001, and the VAT dedicated account 165060. When making a direct deposit, our taxpayers need to fill this deposit at their commercial bank. You need to have your TIN with you. The TIN consists of 8 characters, and then you should also know the period that you are making the payment for. When making an electronic fund transfer for your penalty or interest liability due to NamRA, you use the EFT referencing example as shown on the screen. It also has 19 characters, but on the text type and text period, you put 999, indicating that the payment is account payment. When making electronic fund transfers, EFT referencing example is shown on the screen, which comprises of 19 characters. The taxpayer reference number comprises of 5 parameters, which are as follows. 1. Represent the payment method, in this case, EFT payment. 06. Office of registration or your return office. The 8th character represents your tax identification number. 14 is tax type, in this case, employee's tax. 2018-06 is the tax period for which the payment is meant for.
The correct answer to our previous question is any 3 of the requirements as mentioned below. Proof of reference, testimonial letter stating that both the applicant and employee have previously worked for Customs Authority or clearing agent in Namibia for a period of 2 or more years. A certified copy of identity or passport documents for the applicants and employees. Proof of registration with the Business Intellectual Property Authority. Proof of registration with the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC, a certified copy of a valid building business fitness certificate issued by the municipality or local authority in the area in which the person intends to conduct the clearance business, proof of lease agreement where applicable with access to facilities such as internet connectivity and email, original and valid certificate of good standing certificate issued by the Namibia Revenue Agency, original and valid certificate of good standing issued by the Social Security Commission, completed application form for registration and licensing as a clearing agent. Here's our question for this episode. What are the factors that triggers the rejection of manual refunds? Kindly email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 5th of October 2023. The winner will be announced in the next episode.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope you found the information valuable and insightful. Join us in 2 weeks' time for more updates. Until then, stay informed and compliant. Goodbye.
Giving fairness and equality to our nation. We appreciate the difference in ethnicity. We have